Okay, so first we'll look at the layout that I've done here. It's not a Microbeast Plus, I didn't have a spare Microbeast Plus, but I do have a spare Microbeast. So what we've got here is that, and we've got the rudder servo in channel 4 right at the bottom. We've got the right hand aileron servo in channel 3 next to the bottom. One further up we've got the left hand aileron servo in channel 2, and this different coloured servo, the black one, I've got in channel 1, which is for the elevator. And then the next space up, which is marked aileron stroke channel 5, that would be for the ESC, but I'm not using an ESC in this trial setup. And then I've got power coming through this from this battery pack, and also with a bind plug lead attachment that can be used. And then in I think it's marked LE, my eyes are not so good, I think it's marked LED 1 or something similar. That's where I've got the little SAT adapter, and I've got a DSM2 SAT installed. So first thing you would do is press and hold down these two buttons here whilst you power on your TX. Choose a new model. In my case I don't have to select Heli because I chose them all as Heli some time ago, so I couldn't accidentally make a mistake. Then use this scroll button to move into the swash type menu, and use this rocker to adjust it. It was on one servo anyway. So adjust the swash type until it says 1 servo norm, and then you can exit that menu and turn off, and that's the transmitter done with the new model for now. Next step is to power on whilst holding the button down, so that you go into the receiver menu. So I'm holding the button down now, applying power, and you can see that I've got a slow flashing light at A, and that denotes that we're in the menu selection, receiver menu selection. And the status light at the moment is off, and the way you choose the correct type of receiver is to press and hold the button for 2 seconds. So I'll do that, and as you can see it's now changed to purple. Maybe the colour won't come out too well on the video, but purple is the selection that we want for a single satellite only type installation, no full receiver. If you press and hold it again, you can cycle through different options. Each time you just hold it for 2 seconds and it'll change. Back to status off, which is for a standard receiver, and then purple again, which is what we want. So I'll power off now, do it again, hold the button down, power on, make sure it comes on as purple, which it has. So once again, powering off, get the bind plug, pop it on the end of this lead. I've got power going into the sys port, which is where you bind, I think, if I remember rightly. And then when I power on now, you should be able to see that the satellite is flashing. And then whilst I power on the transmitter, I'll hold the button in on the back, and that puts it in bind mode. So you can see now it's binding, and hopefully should go solid in a minute. So there, it's bound. So power off, power off, power on the transmitter again, power on. Oh, forget that, I didn't take the bind plug out. So take the bind plug off, power the transmitter on, power setup on, let it go through the initialization. it's showing a very extreme gain there with the menu light N, but that's just because I haven't set anything like that up in the TX. It's a new model. So now we'll press and hold the button until we get a steady light for the standard setup menu, and then B, C, D, E, F, G, H, and it's on red, which is for a 1, 2, 3 servo 120 degree setup. But if you move the rudder, you can make it cycle through, so you need to make sure it's on solid red for 120 degree, which it is now. And I'll move on to step I, and this is where we can adjust the directions. So at the moment they're all moving together, which is what we want. But if I move the rudder and select a different colour, maybe it'd be on default like that, you can see they all, it's actually kind of quite hard to determine. So if we, because of the layout of the servos, they're standing up rather than on the side. But if we say we were aiming to get the middle all to go in the same direction with collective, so this will go up, this will go up, and this will go up with up. Oh no, it's not doing that. It's all different. So I'll move the rudder again. No, all pretty weird. They're all now going anti-clockwise when I move the stick up. Move the rudder again, purple, going in opposite directions now. Go back to solid red, and now when I move the stick up, if we reference the middle, they're all moving together. So that's all we need to achieve in that step. So now, assuming all the other bits of setup were done, which we don't need to worry about at the moment. Actually, that's kind of not true, because not having done step J, I've got hardly any collective movement there. So I'll have to demonstrate this actually whilst in setup menu I, so that we've got some decent throw. So up, down, obviously that's correct, but I can still show you how then in reversing. We can change that. So if we move along to pitch selection and change that entry, so now we've got I've reversed pitch, so now when I go up, they all go down in the middle. Up is down on the servos, down is up on the servos. And if you leave it at one end, when you select it, they all jump because they swing to the other end. Obviously they need to go to the other extreme. So now I've put it back to how it was, so when I push the stick up, all the servos go up. When I pull the stick back, all the servos go down. And the same with, you could do the same with aileron at this point. So only the aileron servos are moving now. When I push right, they're going to the left at the top, if we use that as the reference. Totally arbitrary because they're not on the heli, but at least stick right, top of servo goes left, or anti-clockwise. And then if I adjust this aileron reversing, now when I push right, top of servo goes right or clockwise. So I've reversed that sense. And then if we look at elevator, when I push forward, the top servo is going down from our perspective. But if I move along to elevator, which is that one, and reverse that, now when I push up, it's going up. And obviously the two aileron servos do the opposite, as they have to. And that's about it, I think. The key probably is how these leads are plugged in, which if you look at the video, I mentioned it at the beginning, but you can review it again just by following the wires. This is the rubbishy little rudder servo, but that won't. Oh, that's interesting. Oh yeah, I'm changing the type, aren't I? If we were in flight mode, of course, that'd move, but yeah, as it stands, I'm adjusting those settings. So up is up, down is down on solid red. Not sure there's anything else to show. Right, cheers guys, hook it up, bye.